At first, it all started with the invention of texting. It was revolutionary. You could now communicate instantly without having to even hear the other person's voice. But what began as simply sending messages to your friends has transformed into constantly checking every social media website and playing every addicting game. It's the creation of thousands of apps that have people constantly glued to their cell phones. With the recent invention of the smartphone, a phone that can seemingly do everything, people have parted with their cameras, iPods, address books, and maps in exchange for this new all-in-one device. But with the convenience of having everything in one place comes the nationwide epidemic of addiction to the smartphone.
People these days, especially young people, think that they're so social with their 600 friends on Facebook or their 1,000 friends, and they're wanting to have more friends, and they're hooked into Instagram and their Twitter and following all these people and how many people are following them, but really they're not socializing with the people around them.
I read the majority of an article online about how older people are becoming more and more antisocial. So I was really aggressive with my parents about joining Facebook. My parents are up to 19 friends now. I have 687 friends. This is living.
Yeah, despite all the networking that it allows for, I definitely think that the evolution of social media has caused society to regress in terms of our ability to communicate face-to-face.
Young people, however, are not the only ones that are addicted to their smartphones. The epidemic has reached adults as well.
When I'm at work and I get on the elevator, people are all just looking down at their cell phones. No one will make eye contact with anyone. It used to be in the past, you'd get on, you'd say hello. Even if that's all you said was hello, you at least made eye contact with a living person instead of just looking at this phone in your hand and thinking that you're so social. You see people out at lunch and you can see a table of 4 people and they're all just sitting there looking at their phones. They're not even talking to each other anymore.
Honey?
Uh-huh. This Valentine's Day, spend less time communicating.
Happy Valentine's Day.
And more time connecting.
Advertisements like the previous portray situations where people are constantly looking down at their phone as normal and acceptable in today's society. As crazy as it may seem, people nowadays will turn to their phone in an attempt to actually avoid social interaction with the people around them.
If you're ever in a social situation with people you aren't very comfortable with, the tendency of most people, and I'll admit that I do it too, is to just pull out your phone and pretend that you're busy in order to avoid what may potentially be awkward small talk. But, if you really think about it, creating small talk and starting a conversation with someone you don't know is really the only way to go out and meet new people. So while I think that it's had a lot of positive effects, I definitely think that social media has hindered our generation's social skills.
The fact that people nowadays are constantly looking down at their phone has caused a huge problem when people get behind the wheel of a car.
Over the last, I'd say 15 or 20 years, that's probably the time that cell phones have really been out. The number of distracted drivers has just gone up immensely.
According to the Huffington Post, this so-called addiction that people have to their phone has consequences ranging from teenagers communicating in 3-letter acronyms to fatal car crashes caused by drivers who are too distracted by their phone.
In the past, you might have the occasional woman putting on her mascara in the car as she drives to work, or somebody trying to eat their hamburger and, one hand on the wheel, one hand on the burger. But these days, almost everyone you pass on the road is on their phone in some form or fashion. They're either holding it up to their ear, they're waving their hands while they talk, they're looking at it, going through and texting, reading their emails, and they don't have their eyes on the road. So you have people that are swerving into your lane, or people that are going, 15, 20 miles under the speed limit because they're all looking at their phone and they don't want to run into the person in front of them.
Some companies, primarily Apple, who some might say started the whole smartphone trend, are continuing to advocate for the increased use of smartphones and other smart devices.
After seeing commercials that praise the constant use of smartphones and tablets, I'm definitely more inclined to see only the positive side of them.
Other companies, such as Coca-Cola, have picked up on the increased use of cell phones and their negative effects on the social interactions between people, and are using their products to put an end to this ever-growing epidemic.
Social media is great. It connects you to the world and the people you love. You can chat with your family or share a meal with friends and watch cute little cats do unbelievable things.
Coca-Cola has the right idea when it comes to putting the phone down to see what's right in front of you. It's never going to be possible to truly get away from smartphones and the negative effects that they carry with them. The hope is that we can teach people when the appropriate time for phone usage is, and when it is time to lift their eyes from the illuminated screen and enjoy the life that is right in front of them.